We are not.
Well, the
Now we are.
the YouTube
Welcome
show is
to the
currently
show.
live.
We are live.
Hello, lamp.
Not
Lamp.
save
wrong.
the lamp, brother.
Okay. Are we?
Yeah, we're in, man. We're live on the
Yeah.
tube.
Hey, Tube.
I will now do the voice for the episode.
Oh, I'm not recording yet.
What the
What
fuck?
the fuck?
Show
Hit
yourself,
recording,
bro.
please. I am in
Ready?
character.
Ready?
Lamp.
Yes. Not
All right. I'm recording now. Go.
76. Not.
Well done.
Oh Jesus.
We're still gonna 3, 2, 1, so we know when the show really starts, but we
Are
don't
we?
have to anymore. Yeah,
Yeah, fun fact. We don't have to do that anymore.
yeah. It's all synced up from the get go. Makes me
Good for
waste.
that. All right. Let's do
Well,
it.
that's just because we're so fucking awesome.
Oh, hey, Mike. What's up?
what
What it do, Mike?
He made it in for the beginning. Wow.
He did. That's crazy. He never does that.
That is amazing. I am Microsoft
Tell
Sam.
your friends. Yes.
Tell your friends. Microsoft Sam is on the podcast. Also, give me cheese pizza, please.
Okay, let's start the show.
Let's get it started. All right, so
All right. So let's. 3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Yeah.
Go.
Hello and welcome to episode 75, as my weird inhaling backwards robot friend said.
Did he say 75? I think he said 76.
Did he say
Yeah,
76?
it was 76. Yeah.
Interesting.
Our robot
So-
friend is offended and thinks you don't listen to him anymore, and he's gonna go cry.
Is it 76? Because
Unrelated note. I gotta go.
I did
I'll be
change the
back.
room name back to 75. Did you
It's
see it?
76.
That's funny.
Why are you such a fuck up?
Yeah. So, anyway, welcome to the show, guys. You'll probably notice that I sound much better than I did last week. Not on my stinky cell phone anymore. So I am.
He hit it big
Hey.
in Vegas, and he bought a new cell phone, so he can sound this great from anywhere. He's a billionaire.
Yes.
Yeah,
You probably read about him online.
I did though. I did. Hit it big in that. I didn't hit it big, but I'm here. So
And in the end, isn't that what really hitting it big is all about?
in
Being
the
with the
end,
friend at the end of the
You got
journey.
home safe.
It's all about the safe journey coming to a close and the friendships you made along the way.
How did it? That is true.
Yeah.
That
And
is
the
true.
withdrawals to alcohol his body now has to go through.
Oh, dude, the fucking
doubt it.
struggle is real. So I mean, I guess before we talk about anything, I'll just give us a little updatey poo here. It was pretty awesome. Being there, right?
Mhm.
As I was telling you on the show last week, fucking Vegas is crazy, man. It looks crazy. Everything is crazy. There's no fucking rules. You could do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, the bar's closed for like 10 minutes
I don't
where
even
you have to
think
go out.
I didn't notice a bar close. I didn't.
From what I understand, you have to like go outside for like 10 minutes and then you can go right back in for the morning shift, basically.
Yeah.
There's
you
like
can, I
some
guess.
weird like loophole to the law where they have to like do that, but you can just walk right back in.
Well, I know that casinos don't stop serving.
No, casinos don't. It's just the bars, like a standalone bar. I don't know
why. There's no fucking I just got used to literally, I could just be drinking a drink in one of their glass cups in one casino, and just walk out onto the road, go walk around the mall, get on a fucking tram. The whole
life
time
should
you're
be.
smoking a cigarette, it doesn't matter. There are no rules. And then any flat surface, I just stuck my glass on when I was done with it. Do you know why? Because somebody's gonna come and fucking get it, and somehow it magically ends up back where it's supposed to be. It's the craziest thing.
It's the robot overlords, yeah.
It
amazing.
probably is the robot
It's
overlord.
Mr. House. Don't worry
I
about
need
it.
that life.
Now a lot of you will know, and again, I'm not going to go all crazy into Vegas. A lot of you guys I'll see in person and tell you about it. And if somebody has questions or curious about something, please ask me. Last week I talked a lot about what was around me and stuff. So, but my biggest takeaway is here where my normal everyday life, I barely drink, right? I have a beer occasionally, whatever.
Yeah, it's more about the cocaine here.
Yeah, exactly. when I was in Vegas, I literally started drinking pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
I would be drinking beer, and then other things, and then when
Beer
noon
became
comes,
water, and then liquor became juice.
yeah, dude, and then no, it all became Mountain Dew. I mean, because we're talking about me.
Well, you know what?
So,
Yeah, you're right.
but
Never mind.
yeah,
What am
yeah,
I
yeah.
thinking?
Exactly. I'm not sure what you're thinking, but but like around noon, 1, 2 o'clock, when I'd start to get tired from drinking beer all day, I would switch to Red Bull and vodka because that makes
That pumps you
sense,
right back up.
right? And then I would
Yeah,
literally
absolutely.
just drink vodka Red Bull until I went to sleep.
Which is around 5 in the next morning. You wake up again.
Yeah,
Early in the day.
and then you're early up. You have a bagel, maybe some num snacks, and then you are immediately drinking again, and you're going, dude. It's
Well, yeah. I mean, beer is just a bagel in a can.
everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Duh.
So, however, I don't recommend trying to put cream cheese on your beer.
Yeah,
good.
it's not that great.
No.
Which is disappointing because I really had like
Are you sure?
100%.
Mm.
Have tried, can confirm.
Yeah, not good. I mean, I tried because
It
I was
thickens
like,
it up a little bit,
Y'all are weird.
but
well, no, because you're like beer is carbs, bagel is carbs, beer in
cream cheese
bottle,
make
bagel in a bottle.
yeah.
Cream
Put
cheese
cream
makes me feel
cheese.
better. I mean, that's where I went.
It's just
Okay.
science, really.
Yeah,
I can
it's really
I
just
can get on board. I can get on board with that.
so. Now I have found myself honestly wondering where my fucking waitress is with my fucking drink. Like I keep looking around. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
They saw the show where you may or may not have spent the waitress's tip money on more slots.
Well, I mean, I hope you guys all realized that
They
I had
did
to and
tip.
on the show. Oh no! I didn't tip her. We tipped
Oh.
a lot of money, dude. It's crazy
Okay.
because if you give them an extra dollar, they're your king or you're their king. It's freaking weird. Anyway,
You took
that
that
girl-
extra dollar and went and got a pretzel.
yeah, bro, I did. No, you were there with me actually.
Yeah, they were like little pretzel dogs. They were like
When-
pretzel bagel, or not pretzel bagel.
Pretzel pigs in
pretzel
a blanket.
pigs in a
Pigs in a
blanket.
blanket. Thank you.
They were pretty dope.
Sounded
But
dope.
the no, that fucking waitress, fuck her, man, because I had to ask the other girl who can't serve me because I'm not in her area, right? Had to
Right.
go ask her 2 or 3 times. And that lady was like, "Oh, if you didn't have your headphones on, I could hear you." What? No, I was looking around for you.
Doesn't
You
work
weren't
that way.
there. Come on. So, and if you'd have just been like, and she was like, "Bud Light," and I was like, "Yep, that's mine." And then she made me take my headphone off before she would acknowledge me. But we were talking. Like I was literally so I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, that was a power thing for her. She
Uh-huh.
just thought it was rude you had your headphones on.
Which
Little
is
she
fine.
know we were on a show.
Let's say that. Don't be an idiot. Don't play dumb.
Well, not only that, but don't expect, the $1 or $2 or whatever that I'm gonna give you for fucking walking over to the pre-made drink shelf and bringing me a fucking Bud Light. It's not-
And then refusing to give it to me until I gave into your
acknowledge
demands.
you. So I mean
Yeah.
that was really what that was about.
Yeah.
But I anyway, Vegas is crazy and I'm definitely gonna do it again. Definitely. It was cool. Like I didn't expect to win any money being there. Definitely didn't win any money being there. I mean I would, I'd get like $100 here or whatever, right? But then you just turn around and put that right back into something else, seen a couple people hit like $1,500, $1,600, something like that, like on machines. But then you probably spent, $700 to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So how worth it was it? I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty dope. I definitely enjoy it, and I definitely am craving vodka right now. It's weird.
Well, we're definitely jealous that we didn't get to go. Completely unfair, but whatever.
Well, don't worry. That's not all we're talking about. We're actually going to move on because I don't want to Vegas it up too much. Like I said, you can go back and look at the last video on the
Yeah, where you can
tubes.
actually see the trip.
Yeah, you could see behind me and all that shit.
And you can see the waitress in question.
You can actually go
yeah,
back
you
and
can.
you can hear me ask the other waitress more than once. So
Where my beer?
anyway, I'm
Yeah,
happy
I
to be
remember
back though. I'm
Petra
glad to
was
be here.
looking like a meerkat.
We're
glad to fucking be
moderately pleased that you're back as well.
Moderately semi happy, yay.
I find it to be satisfactory that you're here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
It's about as good as it's gonna get.
So I have several things I'd like to talk about today. Not quite ready to get into any of those
I have
just
two
yet.
things that I want to talk about, but
Okay.
before we do that, I just want to rant for a second because my fucking power company makes me want to die. For any of you who live in Florida and have Florida Power and Lights, I'm sorry because they're a bunch of fucking idiots. I've had to deal with the power going out in my house like 3 times today.
What's up with that?
Whoa. Already? Didn't you just Oh no, that was Spectrum.
No,
Yeah, that was
no,
internet. That was internet last week, right?
Spectrum's fixed. Spectrum's fixed. They
Okay.
did what they needed to do. It was part of a larger issue, which is what I fucking told them. They didn't believe me. But it was part of a larger issue that was affecting more customers, and they finally fixed it and got to the bottom of it. They just listened to me, it would have been fine. But whatever. It did get fixed eventually. I'm semi-cool with Spectrum. I'm still bad taste in my mouth, but at least they fixed their shit.
Yeah.
With this, I call up FPL and I'm like, hey, my power is out for the 3rd time today. My bill not only isn't due until the 26th, but I've actually already paid you on it. So I've paid a month in advance. Why? Why is it off? And they said, well, that's normal. I'm like,
whoa.
I've lived in a lot of places, and having your power go off 3 times in a day isn't considered normal in those places. Granted, I haven't lived in like a 3rd world country or something, so maybe it's normal there.
No, yeah, that's actually a good question. What do they mean normal? Normal while we currently are working on something?
Well, that's the thing. Is
Normal
tell me.
because you live in fucking the area you live in? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, he was basically saying that outages are normal, and he's not sure what caused it, but it was probably that they're working in the area due to the number of outages. I'm like, you can't even like tell if someone's working in this area to see if this is part of a bigger issue or something else going on. And he's just like, let me run a diagnostic on your meter. I was like, all right. And he's like, this can take up to 60 seconds. I'm like, all right. So he sat there for 60 seconds, completely dead silent, and I wasn't going to break the silence. So I just sat there, and then he comes back and he's like, yeah, I see where the outages happen. I'm like, yeah. And he's just like, huh, and it's happened in, last few months as well. I'm like, I mean, yeah, off and on, my power is just randomly flipped.
So what he went and he got like the information from
the meter. He can remotely run a diagnostic.
How if it has no power? How is he able to remotely run a diagnostic on your meter if the meter has no power?
Well, by then the power had blipped back on. It was one of those things where it would go down for like a few minutes and then I wanted to headbutt something so bad. But fucking he was just like, yeah, I see that. But yeah, that's normal. I'm like, all right.
What?
I've lived in some pretty ghetto places, and I've never had that.
Same.
Right? Like I've had like power blips, and then he was like, "Yeah, I mean, sometimes trees can like smack power lines or something, and it'll cut out."
What? No.
The fuck? What are you talking about?
Hold on.
No.
And even if that was the fucking case, that is not like an acceptable thing.
Yeah, that means trim the
that
trees
connection is going to be fucked up.
Yeah, trim the trees or fix your power lines so they're not ghetto 1960 technology that a tap from a tree is going to fucking knock out the power. And if that's the case, I'm not the only one who's getting affected by it if the fucking tree is getting knocked. So why are you acting like there's not a problem?
Maybe he was insinuating the issue is you.
Yeah, he might have been. And to that I say, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I've done nothing wrong.
Guy. Mm-hmm.
All of my breakers are up, right?
Yeah,
my fuses are not burst.
What if the line from your house?
What if I peed on it?
Yeah.
Then, I mean, I'm a Ren and Stimpy episode at that point.
You idiot!
You idiot! I need to learn to. I need to see if I can do one of their voices at some point.
Fucking Ren and Stimpy. That's some fucking history right there. That was one of my favorite fucking shows. And
I never got to watch it as a kid.
Really? Would not be allowed to exist today, even as an adult show, let alone something kids had access to.
Yeah,
I
how
will say that
sensitive
a big part of the reason why that's the case is because Ren and Stimpy came in at a very odd time, and it was very of its time, where animators of that style didn't have an outlet. Nowadays, anyone who makes anything even close to Ren and Stimpy, they all do internet animations and make that they produce their own content through like Patreon, and then they post it up on like Newgrounds.com, stuff like that. Because that was like a generation of animators.
Yeah. Well, because everything's on a pendulum swing, right?
Yeah.
So the 90s, for example, swung to the 90s.
Yeah.
Running
in the 90s.
Which let's just hope nobody recorded radio shows back then, because every 90s radio host is about to go to jail.
I mean, 100%.
I mean, honestly, it's a miracle that Howard Stern, hasn't gotten a lot of shit for what
he's
he's
too powerful,
done.
man. I know that we think
he's beyond reproach at this point.
The problem is now we
I
see all this stuff happening in the news or whatever, and whether you agree or disagree with something that should be allowed to be 30 years old, and he rubbed me with my clothes on, I should definitely be in jail too. But the problem is it's fucking Howard Stern, man. Howard Stern has a movie on purpose because he's a fucking dirty piece of shit. It's like,
but also Howard never did anything that was like, everything he did was a calculated thing for the show, or a calculated thing. Like, it was never outside of consent.
That's the problem, though, is because there have been people who will say otherwise, that because his level of power that he has in the broadcasting industry, that you're willing to do something just because you want to be him, or you want to
there is that, but he's, as far as I know, and as far as no one's come forward to say, he's never made like a back office deal like, you suck this dick, I get you on the show or something.
I'm willing to bet he has, but
I'm not saying. I mean, he might have, but no one has actually come
but what I'm saying, even if that came out now, I don't think that would, even that couldn't take down Howard Stern. No fucking way. No fucking way.
I mean, the dude it's at the point where they feel safe enough with him that they have him doing America's Got Talent.
Oh God, yeah. But if that came out, they'd be like, if something like that came out, they'd be like, well, that sounds about right. That would be like that would be like somebody saying Tom Green offended me. Yep.
Sure.
Anybody who lived through the 90s, you need a therapist. That's just how it is.
Pretty much.
I'm my own therapist.
No, that's the joke, Bryce, is that, we grow and adapt, and we grow and adapt to the world around us at this point. It is what it is. And back then we just lived in the time. I wish it would be more allowed on like television and radio. I will say this though. Have you guys noticed that TV is curse crazy lately?
Yeah, they're.
Why is it after you said that you immediately started looking up at your ceiling like it was about to cave in?
The FCC is watching them.
The FCC won't leave me be, or let me be me. So let me see. They tried to shut me down on MTV
because I'm hot
without Patrick,
and I'm dying here right now. I have my fucking
leave the lamp on, brother.
I have the lamp on, brother. But yeah, I think I think that that's some really interesting stuff that I think one time that we really need to dive really into, like find some stuff from that era that would just be,
that'd be interesting. Just like find all the weird shit from that time, because there are commercials that are terrifying.
Oh my God, dude, are you kidding me?
Like with body horror shit, like people being dysmorphed and like exploded and all kinds of weird shit.
You know what's
Why
crazy?
did that have to change though?
Well, it's not necessarily that it had to change. It's that
people
what created that was a generation of people who had a very specific mindset on what sold and what didn't. And then the internet came about, and 90s culture started to evolve into internet culture.
Yes.
And then internet culture is kind
the rest of the culture
Yeah, it left behind a lot of the 90s shit, and it made it to where a lot of the more like intense, like insane shit like that went to the internet, and then everything else on regular TV kind of became the spot for more family oriented stuff.
Exactly.
Like
but
the
because
90s gave birth to in the early 2000s gave birth to like the rise of the sitcom hardcore.
Oh,
I mean,
for
that's
sure,
Friends. That's when family centric.
Seinfeld,
Yeah, that's when the
all
family
them
centric
shows,
sitcom really exploded, and it made everyone calm the fuck down because it was more about like what you could all watch together.
That stuff started to go off to the internet, and honestly,
Oh, yeah.
if that didn't happen, and it allowed us to change culturally, and then it allowed us to split. You know, like there's some stuff that we three would giggle at that most like people now would be like, I can't fucking believe you're laughing at that. And I'd be like, I'm going to need you to fuck off.
Well, my whole thing as well is the 90s was like the first true attempt, I feel, at really trying to capture like the quote unquote youth market, because everything before then, like 70s 80s, sure, the kids market was there, but it was more of a niche thing, like here's an ad for a kid's toy and then we'll go back to whatever you were watching. Whereas the 90s was like super kid centric. Everything was about kids. Like every commercial on any channel was Pokemon. It was skip it, bop it, whatever.
That's because they realized the cash cow that are children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it was finally getting to the point where those children were growing up and they were starting to become a larger. They were starting to become a hugely part of the market. Because they were old enough to where one
hugely fucking part of the market.
If they were getting an allowance, right?
Yeah.
The kids could buy the shit themselves, so they needed to be able to see what was going on. And two, there was a lot of money in the 90s. Like this is before the big like housing bubble collapse and all that shit. So when you have a lot of extra money, a lot of that extra money goes into spoiling your kids. That's just how it goes.
Okay, so that does have to do with why it kind of started to happen. Other things that annoy me though is when we were no longer allowed to use like Bugs Bunny, for example, to make a mockery of fucked up previous historical events, you know? Whereas, you know, now it would be seen Civil War Bugs Bunny scene where he's fucking bopping Civil War fucking dude over the head with a fucking frying pan and fucking all that other crazy shit, where Bugs Bunny's obviously the good guy in that scenario and you're making a mockery of this. Can't do that anymore. Can't, and I miss that. I miss being able to laugh at the fucked up stuff, and we can only do that privately now.
Cartoons are also in a weird spot now, to where that type of media, like the original cartoons were actually designed to be, they're for kids because of the colors and the characters and everything like that. But there were a lot of jokes that were designed specifically to go to the parents who were watching too.
Oh yeah, they still are
big time.
Well, now it's worse than that though. Now it's fucking. I watch movies back and I'm like, what?
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you watch Rugrats is a perfect example of like cartoons that were like 90% of the jokes were like, woo.
Have you guys seen Deadpool 2?
Yes.
No.
Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and ruin something. If you haven't
garbage.
seen Deadpool 2, there's something called a prison wallet.
Deadpool tool. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't need to know about Deadpool 2 to know about the prison wallet.
No, I understand that, but I just like to remind everyone Jordan doesn't like Deadpool. So there's something called the prison wallet, which is essentially your butthole. I'm convinced that's where Tommy Pickles was keeping that fucking screwdriver.
I mean,
absolutely.
He did use it to jailbreak all the time.
Where the fuck did his mom? Like, where was it? Like every time his mom changed his diaper.
And it never had shit on it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
prison wallet
could be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're gonna put that on the maybe board for MythBusters.
Yeah.
Possibly busted.
I do miss that kind of stuff though. Obviously we didn't grow up on, old school Bugs Bunny, but I still laughed at that. Tom and Jerry, I still liked that stuff.
Oh yeah, and the Tom and Jerry video game was great. The N64 game, that game was lit.
And you know what's funny is people say, "Oh, kids won't like that now." They do, oddly enough. Like stuff like Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry, Roadrunner, like that kind of shit. Man, fucking kids love it. Now, might send some, messages parents don't like now, but
I mean, the
know.
kids that I've seen, especially for like old Disney movies and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of kids don't like them because they're too slow for them now. Like
Oh,
like
yeah.
Little Mermaid and that style of animation is just too boring for them. It's too flat. Like
Yeah, it
you'll
needs to
notice a
pop
lot more like modern Disney. One, all of them are 3D animated because 3D animation is a lot like more engaging.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And two, the art style for their 2D movies is a lot richer. Like it's a lot more detailed. Like Princess and the Frog in comparison to even like the Emperor's New Groove is like night and day.
Oh
Which,
yeah.
by the way,
I agree with
rewatching the
that.
Emperor's New Groove, I love that movie.
Me too.
it's
I actually
okay.
watched that a couple of weeks ago with my son. That's good. It's a
I
good
rewatched
movie.
it like
holds
3
up.
days ago, and it's one of those movies that every possible like plot hole or like negative thing they make a joke out of, so I forgive it because they know that it doesn't make sense, and they'll just have a character come out and say it. Though I do have a theory about the Emperor's New Groove.
What is it?
It's not fully formed because I have to rewatch it with this in mind.
Okay, just give us a small.
So the village elders kids are psychic, and that's confirmed in the movie because they both have dreams about what's happening to their dad. One of them dreams that the dad was tied up to the llama, and they go down a waterfall, and he was freaking out. And then the other one dreamed that they kissed the llama. Both of those things happen.
Okay.
And then both of the characters were correct. And they showed us that scene seemingly for no reason other than a gag. I think it's the setup for later. And they're psychic, and they are the reason why the journey was successful. And that's the part where I need to get all my evidence to complete it. Because at one point there's a trampoline that was set up outside of the palace, and Cusco's falling. And there's a guard out there who's saying, yeah, no, for the last time we didn't order a trampoline. And the guy's like, well, you should have told us that before we set it up, buddy. And then Cusco bounces on the trampoline, heads back up, and grabs the vial kind of deal. Or it might have been the cat. I can't remember. But ultimately, that trampoline was there because the kids order it in order to make the journey to the proper conclusion.
Yep.
So that's like the general outlook of the theory. I'm going to get the evidence to support it, and I'll let you guys know.
I like it. I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, agreed.
I'd like to see more.
ECCs.
So, anyway, I don't know. I miss the '90s. Everybody, I think, has some
Me
nostalgia
too.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a better time.
It was.
I don't know about better, but it was still a fun time.
I would like maybe our
have a
tech
smartphone and still live in the 90s.
You couldn't. It would ruin it, dude. It would ruin it. Like, for example,
100%.
right now, parents don't allow, and I'm the same, right? Parents don't allow their kids the same freedoms that we had. It's
true.
not because shit wasn't happening then. It's
You just
because
didn't know about it.
freedom
so
of
prevalent.
information wasn't always there. Like if I hear sirens and shit going on now, I can open up my phone and figure
Find
out
out
what's
exactly
going on
what's
in my
going on.
neighborhood.
That's true.
That's not a thing, back
In
then.
the 90s, yeah.
So like I was able to just ride off on my bicycle and I would
As
fucking
long
ride
as you were back before the
miles,
lamps
bro.
turned on, you were
Go.
good.
Fuck yeah.
Exactly. Come back before the street lights were on and the sun was down. Do you?
Yeah.
That was
And
essentially.
now, granted, Skylar's about there, but that's because she's 14, bro. Next year she'll have her learner's permit. I was fucking riding my bike off away at like 7.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, later, guys, ride fucking 4 streets down to a friend's house, for example.
Yeah, didn't have to call home or text
If
mom. or
smartphones
nothing.
and
couldn't.
tech like we have now existed then, guys, I'm sad to say it wouldn't have been the same. Not only that, but a lot of people would have had access to what was going on like morning radio more than they did at the time.
That's
so
true.
I think that would have definitely killed a lot of things before they happened. I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I mean, anyway, I think I'd like to move on. I have a bunch of things I want to talk about today, so I want to at least knock one out before we go to break.
Okay.
just real quick, and I don't know if maybe you or Jordan want to as well. Totally up to you guys. I do, and I mean, just kind of in the order, and I'll let you guys pick just based on an idea of what it is. I have a time traveling one. Maybe I don't know if we want to do that now.
Okay.
I have the brothel one, right?
Of course.
Maybe save that later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this one because it's quick.
Okay.
Cool. So in San Antonio,
Cool.
Yes.
there is a strip club.
San Antonio, California.
Sure.
Yeah. Nice callback.
I thought
Thank
San
you.
Antonio was in Arizona, like we were talking last week, but whatever.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. It is San Antonio, Arizona.
No, anyway.
Right next to Vegas.
Anyway, in Vegas. It's in Vegas. No, San Antonio, Texas, you goobs. Anyway, there's a strip club there raising some concerns. Some major concerns.
Oh. Why?
From the
What do you have to do?
from them Texas officials?
What are they? Are they stripping nuns? Like, is that the deal? Because
All
Texas
they
is like
did,
Bible
they
Belt.
put the sign up for the store
Mhm.
called emergency room.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
So is it like nurse themed?
I don't know what the fuck it's themed. I know the emergency room gentleman's lounge.
Okay.
People are afraid that it could be mistaken as an actual emergency room. The new club is located off the 410 Loop. According to its Facebook page, it's exotic dancers, waitresses, and sexy nurses.
Okay, so it is nurse themed.
They commented the name of the.
Hello?
What happened, Patrick? I thought that was just me.
No, Patrick froze.
Yep.
Right row. Right
place.
row.
People
Oh, you might be back.
Nope. We had it a second.
He's
Patrick, say
moving.
words.
His camera's
Am I
moving.
moving? Am I good?
Well,
Yeah,
you're
your
moving.
audio is garbage.
You're a little.
Really?
You're a little fuzzy.
Hang on. I'll fix that. Hey, look, live things that are being recorded because we have one feed now. Hold on.
Yes.
You could see me though, right?
Yeah,
Right
we
now.
can.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you don't touch the computer
I'm back.
before the podcast.
There you go.
Do you not learn from when I did
You
it?
can hear me now, right? No, I think that was my internet.
Okay.
But you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's good now?
I mean, the video quality is crap, but other than that,
What the fuck? It's probably my internet. It's raining outside. It's
Yeah,
because
I'm
we
having
said fuck
some
Spectrum.
thunder over here as well.
it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, people are upset. They think that hey, by the way, that right there, usually we cut that kind of stuff out, but that's there for you. You get to see how it really works. Fuck
I
up
mean,
Central.
we'll probably still cut it out for the audio only version, but we'll see.
No, it's
No,
there.
I'm not.
No, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, fuck
Oh,
that.
okay.
Full disclosure, too lazy. Nope.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'd like to
no,
formally
people-
apologize.
People like that anyway, honestly.
I
Yeah.
doubt it, but
No, they really do. Actually, that's why podcasts. A
Mhm.
little side note. That's why podcasts are so popular because of realism that's there.
shit
and
breaks, you leave it in.
Yeah. Actually, and the only reason I know that is because of podcasts that I do listen to do polls on their Facebook pages,
Mhm.
and like for example, somebody may be pressure washing outside the window. People think it's funny. They don't. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
shows realism. It
'Cause
shows
it's
a
real,
connection.
yeah.
It shows that you're
Shows that
not.
just an average Joe. You're not in like a fancy
Mhm.
studio lounge, even though we
So-
may sound like it.
Anyway, I guess they put up a sign that says emergency room, right? They're gonna have to. They didn't get a permit. A Kermit. Haha.
Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog here.
It's
They
nice
did-
and green.
So I guess they're trying to go after him for anything. People are afraid that they're going to confuse it for an actual emergency room. I'm looking
I
at
think
the
that's stupid.
sign, and honestly, it's blue with red emergency, black room. You know, but people, it's not a hospital. It's a fucking strip joint. Like,
Does it say Gentlemen's Club like on the sign?
uh-huh.
Then they've got
What's the
no,
problem then? I
They've
mean,
got no bounds. Because
Oh,
no one's
no.
gonna see
If you can still
emergency
see me,
room. Yeah,
we
can
should
see.
take a break
Oh, okay.
because
well,
my internet's crashing quick.
okay.
So,
All right.
guys, we'll be right back. Side note: look that story up. Maybe we'll come back with it after break. Maybe not.
We'll see.
But those people are fucking idiots.
Yes, they are.
100%.
100%.
We'll be right back.
Break time. Break crime.
Break crime.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's horrible.
Hey, pause the recording, Jordan.
I
You
already
pause the
did.
recording.
What do you think? I'm a noob? Come on.
Yeah.
Noob Cybot.
Yeah, my
Whoopsie.
all my Chrome pages just went white. I'm still live
You
here.
Get your life, dude.
Yeah. What could be eating up bandwidth? I wonder if somebody's using something. That shouldn't fucking matter. That makes me so mad, by the way. How far are we, Jordan?
We're like 35 minutes in.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Getting rid of that tab.
The fucking number. That's funny.
What?
Bryce is 76. I'm about to play it back. I want to hear how it sounds.
Boy.
Boy. Okay. Does my video look any better?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you've always been questionable
Let
to look at, so yeah.
me see.
This song's too fucking good, man. I
What
can't.
song? What song?
It's the song I sent you guys before the show. The hype
Are you
up
listening
song.
to it again? I'm listening to it
Yes.
again. Hold on.
I found it on Beat Saber, which is the lightsaber game in VR.
Oh, really?
This is one of the custom songs that I downloaded that I knew nothing about this song. I'd never heard it before. I hit play and it's a really fast, it's expert level song, so it's really fast and there's a lot of boxes and stuff. So I'm just going fucking ham to this song. And like I think the only reason why I like it as much as I do is because my first experience was so positive. Because I went into it with no expectations and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked the song. And then on top of that, I really liked the placement of the boxes and the flow to it. Like I felt like a goddamn Jedi the entire song.
The GB Jedi.
Yeah. So it was pretty fucking amazing.
That game sounds fun.
It is so fun. It is so insanely fun. Like it's unfair how fun it is.
Is there a release date for that on PlayStation 4? Yeah.
I don't know if they have a release date. Let me see. Because it is coming for PS4.
Yes. And it needs to hurry up.
Beat Saber dev still targeting a 2018 PSVR release.
Yes.
I will say I don't know what kind of mod support they will have. They probably won't have mod support.
No, they won't. You can't mod on PS4.
Yeah, so you're only gonna have 10 songs. They'll be great songs. You know, the 10 songs they choose are really good. But they'll probably do
You can't
something
just
like
load
with
your own
Guitar Hero.
stuff?
Put like a store for DLC or whatever.
Well, they're probably going to add that because they've been talking about having like a custom beat map thing forever. So they'll probably add something to where you can add songs. But the way it's set up now, there's actually a program called Beat Saver, which is literally just custom maps that people have uploaded. And then you just download the songs you want and then you just go ham. Which for PlayStation to be able to do would probably be hard because they'd have to implement the ability to download that program, which would mean licensing issues and stuff. So hopefully they figure that out. It'll still be really fucking fun though, I promise you. That game's so great. So my two stories, I can make them pretty short for the two things I want to talk about because they're pretty simple in what they are. It's just the fact that it's happening and like our thoughts on it that would make it longer. But we can like, you know, keep it simple. Or if you want, I could even save these for next week.
What?
The 2 stories I have.
No, right out. It's fine.
It's fine? Okay.
We're good.
All right.
I have faith that that was just a spectrum hiccup. It's fine.
Easy is.
It happens sometimes. Like in the house, all of a sudden we won't have Wi-Fi on our phones and shit.
Sometimes you think it don't be like that, but it do.
Pisses me off. I bet you know what they'll say, right? If I call them.
That's normal.
That's normal. Don't worry about it, sir.
That
It's
is
perfectly normal.
Well within operating procedures. Suck my dick.
Don't worry, it's normal.
Nut. Stands for normal under these times. Nut.
Stupid.
Oh, all right.
I am the nut button. Hello, welcome to Americana. Please make your selection followed by the pound sign now.
You almost sound like the little ape you can get on your computer, Windows 95 or whatever. And like you could type stuff and he'd say
The
it.
little gray babe. It was purple. He was
Yeah.
a virus.
The purple one.
Yes, he was a virus.
No.
Yes.
There might have
He was part of a virus.
been one that was a virus, but this was not a virus.
No, like they were though. Like even the original one was all part of a big like there's I'll have to find the stuff and send it to you, but there's like a big long like history of thing that someone
Yeah.
did on it. And even the original one from the get-go had like some sus shit in it. Like back then viruses weren't really like they were a thing, but they weren't really like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those things where the creator of the program could like collect certain data using it. And it's basically the shit that we do now with like Google and stuff, how they collect data, like our search history and stuff. But this was before terms and agreements for that and before we were really doing that. So like back then it was just like a big deal. Now it's just like, oh, I need this app. All right, I have to give away half my soul for it. Fuck it. Accept.
Yeah, right. No, that's
Mhm.
exactly what you do, though.
Yeah. So in comparison to today's standards, the only thing that would make it a virus is the fact that it was difficult as shit to get off. But other than that, for the times, it was the most like virusy program. It was like a weird thing. It was revolutionary for its time. Have people download a simple little buddy, have that little buddy spy on them.
FBI, please open the door. I am coming in so I can nut.
Don't trust him. He's there for your lamp.
Give me the lamp, brother.
No. Don't give him the lamp. Turn the lamp off. He'll go away.
Lamp. Lamp.
Lamp. Are you
Lamp.
talking like this?
Yes, you just breathe in while you talk, and then you become Microsoft Sam.
You just breathe in while you talk?
Yes,
Yes.
I have seen the end of the world. There are no survivors. I am the harbinger. Where is my gatekeeper?
Bruce.
I am the keymaster. Hey, Blade, let her hit.
Jordan, can you do this?
Yes, I can.
Rest of the show this way.
Okay, it's possible.
Welcome back to the show. What?
It is very hard to talk like this. Nobody will listen.
I already can't anymore. It already hurts.
Do you have a lot of breath control in practice?
Okay, that's weird.
I've just done it a lot. It's one of my voices.
Because I do a lot of. I do.
Mine sounds like this.
Yeah, it has to do with how hard you have to breathe in.
I can breathe in like this.
Yeah.
It is easier to breathe fast. Take it slow, and you will sound more robotic. This is how I sound.
That's weird. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Like you're dying on Mars.
I can't. Yeah, that's
There
anyway.
is no oxygen.
So our break is our emergency break.
We just lost everybody, by the way, with that whole thing we just did. We were just fucking around that whole time, and everyone's just like, Jesus, they're still talking like this. Die.
Die. Yes.
So let's come back from break.
We're
Are you
come
ready
back
to?
from
Are
break?
you ready to hit record again, Jordan?
I don't know what's going on after we come back from break.
What's going on?
I'm gonna bring us back, and then I'm gonna give it to Jordan,
Give it away to Jordan.
and then yes,
UCCs.
and I will pick up after you, and then we'll go to Bruce.
Hi,
All right.
my name is
Just let me
Bruce.
know when.
He's
gonna
like,
kill
"Hi,
him?
my name is Bruce." Also given in to Bruce.
No, I'm gonna kill you later. I just figured I would say that now, so that way the cops wouldn't suspect me because they would think I'd given in. But really, I'm gonna murder you for that.
Where's Patrick?
You don't need to know where Patrick is. Let's just say my plan's already started. Call me Bruce again. You'll find
That's
out what it
fast.
is. Yeah.
I'm
When
not
I go
here,
out in
calm
these
down.
streets, all I hear
God,
is yeah,
broke.
yeah.
I'm out of drink. Fuck. All right, let's
Why
continue.
are you such a fuck up?
What? Oh, you're a piece of shit. You did that on purpose. I'm gonna wait for us to go live recording again, and then I'm gonna get up and go get a drink.
Don't do that. Go get a drink
Douchebag.
now. What the fuck is wrong with you? Hurry up. We got to finish the show up. I got things to do. Come on.
No, it's all right.
too.
Let's do it.
All right.
Jordan
Don't you dare
definitely
get up.
doesn't have things to do.
Yeah, I have to do dishes and take the fucking trash out like every Wednesday evening.
Okay, but I have to
Jesus.
do that too. But that's not have to have things to do.
That
I
is
actually do have things to
I
do,
also
so
have to
let's
work early in the morning because I don't have a
Boy.
shit schedule with somebody.
That's true.
boy.
That was mean.
Let's get it popping.
Actually.
Good.
You're a fuckhead.
Both of you
know.
apologize to
No.
each other right now.
Sorry, Bruce, for wasting your time.
Yeah, Bruce, get the fuck out of here. Hit record.
Okay, mine was actually an apology to you. He's just being a douchebag.
Apology not accepted.
What? Fuck you then.
I mean, you didn't apologize to me. You apologized to someone who doesn't exist. So I'm not
October
going to
3rd,
accept apology on.
2018, live on the air, PB&J podcast. False
Very
part.
Yeah.
Spoiled ass.
On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was. Hey, what day is it? It's October 3rd.
Mean Girls. Love it.
Thank you. Yes, Mean Girls. Everybody wear pink.
Because
Okay.
it's Wednesday.
Count us in.
Yes.
She
All right.
doesn't even go here. Okay, I'm ready.
Yep.
I just wish that there were 6 bullets, 12 chambers, and I could just keep clicking until both of you had at least 1 bullet in you. On that note, 3, 2,
2, 1,
Go.
go.
Welcome back from break. Don't worry, nothing caught fire. The internet is
Debatable.
still working.
Barely.
And, we found
PB&J
out-
podcast broke the internet,
And-
just like Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah.
Rob Snyder is a carrot. Oh, a carrot.
Oh Jesus!
That's
And
the
it's
best joke ever said. In here. All right.
Oh my God! Anyway, welcome to the show.
What's wrong with me? Welcome back.
If you were here for break, it got super weird. Bryce
were
was
doing
teaching
voices.
us how to voice
Yeah.
talk. And, we also found out Jordan's mean.
Like a mean girl.
Yeah, just like a mean girl. But we're back and we're fucking ready to entertain. And speaking of Jordan, I think we make him talk for a little bit. Talk, Jordan. Talk.
Where is he?
Say things.
Where's Jordan? Things.
Right there.
All right, I'm done. Let's go. Who's next? No, just kidding. So I did find one story where
One story.
let's imagine
Okay.
that you are on a lovely cruise.
Done.
Okay.
Right.
Where am I cruising to?
You are cruising, and I didn't pay that much attention to the story.
Okay.
While I'm figuring that out, you're
That
boarding
works.
this beautiful, luxurious Royal Caribbean cruise ship.
Okay. Okay. I get on board with that.
You
So I'm
drop
assuming we're
the
going to the Caribbean.
right? Yeah, it's sailing out of Australia, dude.
Oh shit. Okay.
New South
Oh
Wales.
wow. Okay.
Right?
Australia's already pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, so
Totally.
you're already in Australia. You're sailing on a fancy ass cruise ship out of Australia. Beautiful, right?
Beautiful.
You spent some dough. Let's just put it that way, right? You
Yeah.
spent some dough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at
Doesn't
least
even matter at this point where you're going because it doesn't actually say where they're going.
I mean, unless you're sailing from, Australia, it probably costs the same to cruise. I mean, Australia is like the Florida of Australia, right? So it doesn't really cost
Yeah.
that much to go on a cruise.
Australia is
But
the
we're Americans,
Florida
so we
of
have to-
Australia. What the fuck?
You
I
heard
didn't
me.
even catch that, dude.
You wanna try that again? Are you saying
No, no,
Florida's
no.
the Australia of America? Is that what
No,
you're
no,
going
no, no,
for?
no. That's if we're saying that Florida is like Australia.
You're saying
I'm
Australia
saying
is like
Australia
Florida.
is like Florida in that it's not expensive for people that live there to go on a cruise. Australia is the Florida
Okay.
of Australia.
I'm following along now because
Thank you.
No,
that hurt my brain.
you're just being nice at this point. That shit didn't
Oh,
make
it
sense.
makes perfect sense.
No,
I'm gonna let him have the save. You can
gonna-
take it
So
away
wait.
from him.
I'm
Florida is to a dog.
Okay. As Australia is.
As Australia is to
Wait, no, Florida. Damn it.
Oh Jesus.
We're just up our own asses at this point.
Continue.
Jesus. Oh my god. Anyway, so you're in the Florida of Australia,
Okay.
which is Australia.
No.
And
It's Australia. By the way.
You're sailing out of there.
Sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
Yep.
Exactly. And you're having yourself a beautiful time so far, right? You're enjoying yourself. Beautiful view, beautiful weather, beautiful ship.
Beautiful wife. Hey, it's my fantasy.
Yeah.
I can do
you know
what I
what?
want.
Why not?
Yeah, blowjob
not?
on the Leo deck.
Exactly.
You know what? Yeah.
I don't even know what a Leo deck is.
I don't know, but it's a deck, and you're
But
getting a
it's a
blowjob.
deck.
Yeah,
Does it
It's a
matter?
blowjob.
Does it
Full
matter?
blown blowy.
No, it does not. It could be any deck. I don't give a shit.
Matter of fact, in the middle of the live comedy show when no one's looking.
On this deck.
Mhm.
That works for me, dude. A blowjob. Blowjob's a blowjob.
Anyway.
So you're on this ship, enjoying yourself. It's nice and peaceful out there.
Yeah, I am.
Right? And then about 1,300 employees from one tobacco company
Oh, Jesus.
in India boards this ship and starts to take over pretty much every single deck.
Okay.
Whoa. I don't want some Indian dude taking over my deck.
So yeah, 1,300 Indian dudes take over your deck.
I
which-
can't have a blowy.
I'm gonna
on
be
the
honest, my
deck
deck's
over
not big,
there.
Right? So it's not so bad, right?
Uh-huh.
But then they also have X amount, I don't know, doesn't say, but a bunch of women with them, all
Okay.
dressed like Playboy bunnies.
Oh, back in.
I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
that's an upgrade for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm reading this article, and I was pissed about the first part. 1,300 workers from one company. They tried to take over the ship.
Now,
It's being described.
that's fucked
them-
up, though, that the cruise staff allowed that to happen.
I
Yeah, because
agree.
If you're going to have a big booking like that, then you need to make it like, hey, you guys get your own cruise. So you don't have other people, because if you're going to
That's-
take over everything.
Exactly.
Or
So-
the people that book that cruise, let them know that it's primarily this main party.
And maybe like discount tickets or something.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So the cruise line did none of that. Right? So
Makes
everybody
sense.
else, not
Seems
a part of the
legit.
gigantic Indian bachelor party with Playboy, is pissed off, right? Everything is completely taken over by this group. A lot of people, I mean, that's a gigantic inconvenience, right? So people
Yes,
get
yes.
pissed off
Yeah.
and complain. The cruise ship, obviously, they knew that it was one big ass party, didn't say anything, and got so much shit for it, they ended up refunding everybody else's ticket for the entire.
All
Oh,
12
well,
people on that
Yeah,
but how much
all
money
1,312.
was
12
made
other
from that,
people
though,
on the cruise
man?
ship.
People
Like,
buying
yeah.
drinks and shit. They made bank off that.
Yeah, because they only refunded the tickets. They didn't refund the drinks. They didn't refund if they signed up for like the Wi-Fi or the cellular plan that the cruises have
Mm-hmm.
for the international water, so you don't do roaming. Like all that shit, all the amenities and stuff. They didn't refund that. They refunded the ticket, which is the most basic, cheapest part of the cruise.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Like, because
pretty
even if you get
insane.
one of the unlimited drink packages, that's like 100 and something bucks per person. Because they know you're going to drink that in a day, but they get the money up front, so it's fine.
Yeah, but it's
Yep.
okay. So here's the thing: you're on the cruise. Maybe you're not on the cruise for that extreme of a party. I actually seen this story where there was just like whole like parties taking over areas, pools taking over areas, tits flopping out, fucking lewd acts occurring.
Right.
And families were having to like hide in their rooms or whatever.
Because they didn't want to see their kids basically watch a bunch of people fuck.
Agreed. However, your kids go to sleep eventually.
Yeah, and then
That's
know
true.
when the kids are away, the parents come out to watch.
People, what?
Yeah, I mean, what?
No, to be part of the Playboy pool party. Duh.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm sorry, but fantasy wife for that that imagining of me being on that cruise ship, she would understand because she's my fantasy wife, and we talked about the circumstances beforehand if that ever happened, and she agreed
yeah,
to party.
that it's okay to party.
That's the best part about having a fantasy wife is anything goes.
Is there a way to convert an
Sure.
actual?
No. Sorry, you're stuck.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was asking for a friend.
I mean,
mostly
yeah,
Jordan. Is that-
of course. Tell the friend mainly
Dick.
open communication and trust is the real life equivalent, which takes a lot more time and effort. So
Yeah, did you hear that?
Really?
Jordan? That
Really?
that was for you. That was for you.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
asshole.
We
yeah, you're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Hey guys, we gotta wrap this up. I gotta talk to my wife. Hey.
Oh Jesus! No, dude. Okay. So I'm kind of on the fence though. Like I don't know if I would be mad about it or not.
Right. I was on the fence too, but one thing beyond anything, whether I would have enjoyed myself or not, they definitely should have let the other passengers know.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that's my whole thing.
Yeah, that's
Because-
where they
So-
fucked up.
Because
So-
90% of that stuff, when you have a big grouping like that, they're gonna want to do similar things at the same time. So at
Exactly.
any one part of the day,
It's going to
they'll
be
decide-
disruptive to anybody outside of that group.
Exactly. 'Cause usually with all those different families, all of them want to do different events, so it's like evenly spread out. The pools, the massages.
Yeah, but I think in the same
whatever.
story that Jordan has, I'm pretty sure I read the same one. They talk about how so many people were like hiding in their rooms or whatever. They weren't even showing up for like game night and shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like that is correct. So they had like trivia night and stuff like that. And there was nobody there. So a bunch of the groups actually had to have like staff members join their groups for trivia nights and shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So like
Because
the
they didn't
normal
have
stuff
anybody
because they were too busy fucking Playboy bunnies. So yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
then it ruins the other things too. Yeah. So yeah, no, that's just
And
that's
then-
not as much fun as it sounds like it would be.
Yeah, exactly. And then kind of boggles my mind to close out the article that Royal Caribbean, essentially, it sounds like to me, they didn't think that this would potentially be an issue and are not even really that sorry about it because they're like, oh, we're working with these guests to make
Okay,
sure
but hold on.
everyone's
That's
happening.
because it probably shouldn't have been that big of an issue if you think about it. Like for example,
That's true. No, I agree.
like the other pod, me and you both listen to Tom and Dan, and they do a fucking cruise every year, and
Yeah, but it's not this big.
fuck ton of people go. Oh yeah, it is, dude. They fucking.
1,300? No, it's like 400 or 500, 600 people.
I think that last year that they had even more than that, but even 600 people, right? That's still a lot, and they're not getting like crazy. So like these people were probably like extra
Oh yeah, no, that's the other part of it is they were extra as fuck.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're not. You know, you have a large group on the boat, and if they were aware of themselves and their surroundings and where they were and yada yada, then families should have been able to be out during the day with their kids going to here or there or whatever, right? And maybe at nighttime or in the designated party areas, if that made them uncomfortable, then you're prude, right? But
Right.
I mean, I mean, I'm not saying that it's even all on the cruise agency. Maybe the cruise agency is right in saying, hey, we've had fucking
Big parties like this,
big
before,
ass
and
fucking party, yeah.
We didn't have to
Yeah.
go that loud, but like these people were just wilding out and extra.
So
I mean, it's a possibility.
do you think that they fined?
Oh, I think the cost of the tickets went to the company, the company that came in. Like, I think Royal Caribbean was like, hey, listen, we have video of everything you guys did
They
on this
would have
fucking
found a
cruise.
reason to charge them for that shit. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
because it's one of those things where they could get it through claiming damages from the parties. They could get it through because someone
Which I
broke
would
something
imagine
at
there
some
would have
point.
been anyway.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Well,
one
you know,
of those
there's
things
some
where
broken shit. Yeah.
they just refunded the tickets to like the 30 or so people, kept the amenity money, right?
Mhm.
And then charged everything, including the amenity money, so they could double dip to the company saying, hey, we have evidence of you guys doing this stuff in video format, and we would hate to have to bring it to court where it would go public. Pay your fine, and we leave it alone.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah, that would
like,
suck.
yeah, that's my guess as to what
But
went.
but you know that's what happened though, right? I mean,
100%.
it had to have, because even with all the other money recouped and all the money that they made here off this people and the money from the drink pay, it's still a loss, you know, that I assume they're not willing to take.
Oh yeah,
Now,
they're
I
not willing
wonder
to take that at
though,
all.
I wonder if they turn
I think
around
they
and
turned it into a
people with that
profit.
company ended up getting in trouble. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
I can guarantee somebody got in trouble.
Oh,
Whether or not
whoever
it
was
a
in charge of that
scapegoat-
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
who-
yeah. Yeah.
Whether it was a scapegoat situation or what, but somebody got fucked.
Mm-hmm. Somebody did. More than likely, they somebody said it was okay to go hard. They went hard, and it was not okay. They needed to
And
be a
now it's
little
no
bit
longer
softer.
okay to
A
go
little
hard.
bit softer, not that hard.
A little bit fucking softer next time.
Matter of fact, sorry, next time we misspoke.
Yeah. What we meant was you're fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you never.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. That's rough, man. Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy, Jordan. Good job with
Yeah,
the story.
that's
man.
the only interesting thing that I was able to find on the internet the past week or so. I thought it was weird.
Yes. I have a little bit of weirdness as well.
I love weird.
Also
Mine- lamp.
I have two. Yes.
Give me the lamp.
I have two different stories that are incredibly similar, but they're also like for completely different reasons. It's really weird. Both of them have to do with studies into recent movie reviews on films. So one of them is a more recent situation. It's Venom. Venom just came out.
Yes.
Yes. And we can't trust any of the review sites right now until it balances out, because apparently there has been a huge influx of Lady Gaga fans who have been intentionally downvoting Venom in their reviews and then telling them to go see her biography movie that she came out with. I can't remember what it's called right now.
I've been seeing the commercial for it. A
Star is Born. Thank you. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, we saw this, didn't really like it, got a refund from the theater because we walked out, and then we went and saw Star is Born instead. Way better movie. See that, save your money. And that was like
as blatant as that. So it's not like people just saying, "Oh, this movie wasn't good" or yada yada.
Yeah, it wasn't
they're like literally saying
in the reviews, they're saying go see A Star is Born instead.
Okay,
and
that's illegal.
I mean,
not really.
No, but it's not
there's
right.
A lot of people. Yeah, no, it's fucked up. But there's a lot of people. They did a study and they found a lot of IP addresses and things like that that were like. People were posting like 20 or 30 reviews, like individuals, 20 or 30 reviews, all the same shit. And basically they're just trying to spread this information so they can, because
paid a fucking Indian call center company to fucking go in
I
there.
mean, it could be like the Instagram followers situation. You buy followers,
Yeah.
but my whole thing is like, shit, man, that is a fuck ton of like negative reviews, and it was all because they wanted A Star Is Born to look so much better in comparison. And Star Is Born is already set up to like win an Oscar, from what
Oh
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
on the
Yeah,
it is on
definitely.
the fast track to Oscar nomination, possible winning. It all depends on the interviews and all that shit that's going to be going on
Yeah, but
next. There's going
but
to be a
something
huge
like
one.
this could affect the you know, view, I guess, of the movie, or like of
Yeah, because
her
some
in
people are like,
general, or
you know, this is you got there, but you got there from bullshit
Mhm.
means. I mean, my whole thing is what bothers me is the demographic for A Star Is Born and the demographic for Venom. There's not as big of a Venn diagram as you would think.
No, yeah. I'm
That's
gonna go ahead and
true,
assume
yeah.
the cross section
It's
It's
gonna be
probably
is
very,
not
very,
pretty
very, very
small.
small.
So it bothers me that they even bothered to do this, because it's one of those situations where you're fucking over this other movie, and the people who are seeing this other movie aren't the people who are going to A Star Is Born. Like, I'm sorry, some people.
Well,
It's a waste of time and energy for sure.
It's just it drives me nuts.
well, hold on. Let's say Jordan, use you an example, right?
Yeah.
You and your wife are going to go to the movies. You have both of these movies to watch. Now, I will say probably you would want to see Venom, and you would be like, honey, let's see Venom, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
But let's say, this other movie is like a kind of a chick flick kind of thing. And she's like, oh,
Yeah.
I would, maybe I'd like to see this. And then let's say
It came down to the reviews.
she's going to do what you want to do, probably. Most wives do. They're cool that way, usually, unless you owe them, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because me and my wife will swap off, a lot of times. She won't make me watch super, like, sappy stuff, though, thankfully. We'll watch that at home. But,
Just don't
like,
cry in public.
I don't
I
want to cry in
know.
public. Yeah. No. No, but,
I'm
but
married
yeah,
to it.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, it came down to the review. And this review really, you didn't think this was fake in any way. Like, you read this and you're like, oh, man, Venom sucks.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who already think it will.
Yep.
And whether or not that's true or not, I haven't seen it myself. The early reviews, it's hard to go off of because there have been so many negative reviews from Lady Gaga fans that we can't tell if it's really like a bad film or
I
if
don't know
it's
if I'd
just
be-
like a hype thing.
I don't know if that'd be good for this example, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be under for this example, you have to have been convinced by the review that Venom is not a good movie.
And then at that point, you're just like, all right, fine, we'll do the movie you wanted to do, because then at least one of us will watch something enjoyable, or something along those
Yeah.
lines. Like, and
I see what
Unless
you mean, that it would work in
unless
that
you're
way,
like
yeah.
some kind of like narcissist or something like that, where you're just like, fuck it, I want to watch it anyway. If I can't have good time, neither of us is having a good time.
hashtag facts.
That's true. Exactly. That is facts. But yeah, I don't know.
That's
I
why
don't
he
know if
said, I'm not good example for this. That's what he was trying to tell me.
Yeah.
before.
So what's weird though is this isn't the only example of something like this happening, but this other story that I have, it's different for a completely different reason. So you guys remember Star Wars, of course, the most recent films that come out.
Yes.
Well, The Last Jedi, apparently, not only were some of the reviews, but some of the tweets that people were getting, like the hate tweets over The Last Jedi, over 50% of them were confirmed Russian troll farms.
Really?
And basically, like 51% of the negative reviews and the tweets that were being tweeted at the various actors and things like that were intentionally there to cause deliberate, organized political influence measures disguised as fan arguments. And basically, they were trying to propagate a narrative of widespread disorder and dysfunction in society. Like, basically, both sides can't even function over this movie, and they're automatically going to, they're taking our guns, and, oh, Hillary, or whatever. And basically, they wanted to make America seem so much more terrible than it was, and that we were falling apart as a country because we all freaked out over a movie that hard that we were, like, going to civil war over it. We're like, Jesus, what is wrong?
Can we prove that?
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, no, they did. Hold on.
They trace IPs for that too and all that.
Yeah, there is a huge. They actually Twitter worked with them.
But that's
and
fucked up because like the main actress, what's her name?
she quit. She quit social
That
media because
plays
of that shit.
Ray.
Now,
She
granted, the other half was just fucking obnoxious fans going ham,
yeah, of course.
and that was still a huge amount of people to be mad over a movie. But it's
Which
not nearly
honestly,
as bad as what it looked.
Like you can look anywhere in here and find Star Wars stuff. Look, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I just and I don't have the hate they have. I'm like, I love that you're continuing this franchise.
Yeah,
and
you're
it has
making
a
it new,
future,
and
Because
and
fans tend
possibility
to
of
think
new
that they
extended
know
universe.
where everything should
and
go
because
when
and
they're
you know
not
what
the
really fucking
writers.
pisses me off. People are like, oh, this is stupid. And you're like, and if you try to explain it, well, maybe from the writer's point of view, da 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 da. No, it's fucking stupid, and they won't. And I'm like,
Like,
whatever.
the only issues I have with them is there's some pacing and some unnecessary fluff, but it's still a fun, jaunty film. They just turned
Yeah,
Star Wars into more of a popcorn film than it even was before, and that's
which
the
is
only
a
difference. Is they made
necessity
it
almost
in today's market. Yeah,
it is. It's and Star
especially
Trek
because
fans have the same
it's
fucking problem. You
yeah,
know, like the 2009 movies. You know, the new Star Trek movies.
yeah.
Real fans don't like that either. Now, again, Star Trek, like I right over here, I can pick up a starship and show you.
You can pick up several.
And I feel the same there. I love those movies. I'm like, thank you for continuing this franchise that I love. Like, I don't understand the hate. It's kind of like in these two movies' case, Venom very well may suck.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be written poorly, but
I'm sad that I think it's going to be written poorly because I like the actor. I like what's his face.
Tom Hardy is going to be a
Uh-huh.
great Eddie Brock. If there's going to be one saving grace of that film, I can guarantee it's Tom Hardy's. Like, just from the little snippets that we've gotten through commercials and like the release stuff and all that, his like, I almost want to call it like physical comedy, I guess, is spot on. Just his reactions, how his face is during all these moments. I have a feeling they're going to have a hard time balancing the humor with the more serious tones, because they're also doing a lot of like, this is human experimentation and people are dying and shit like that. And like, I have a feeling they're going to have a real hard time balancing that. You know what I mean?
It runs the
I
risk
agree.
of a major cheese, and I
100%.
and it, I think it'll be fine. Venom itself, like the whole idea of Venom, is really cool. And honestly, what we got in the Spider-Man movies or whatever,
Fucking
so
Toby, whatever his
horrible.
name is.
Yeah, man, it does not make you want to like cool guy dance down the fucking
No.
hallway at school.
Oh
Like
my
that's whatever. And so like this looks like we're getting like almost from our childhood cartoons or from comic books, Venom. So I hope it doesn't suck, but
Me too.
sadly,
Because the best Venom I've ever seen is from the PlayStation 1 video game, Don't At Me. Because that is the greatest Venom. That is
don't
ever
at me
existed.
because that is the greatest.
Don't at me. This discussion's over. I've told you what the greatest Venom is. Just look up footage from that game and listen to the Venom, listen to the jokes, listen to how the vocal performance is, and understand that you've seen perfection. And that's it.
Well, I think I like Venom, and I'm hoping that it doesn't suck. And
I'm hopeful too, but yeah, for the whole craziness with the bot farms and stuff, how they determined it is they worked with Twitter and they broke up the tweets and things like that into like 3 groups. They called one group Real Fantagonists, which is like fans that are antagonizing the film.
Okay.
So I love that they called it Fantagonists because that's adorable. And then they had like troll, sock puppets, and bots. Those are just the troll bots that are just there to just spew whatever.
Yeah.
And then they had a political agenda group. So
Okay, continue.
44 or so out of 206 negative accounts, right? They found that 101 users were the real antagonists, and then 44 were bots and 61 were political agitators. So it was It's fucking
but
insane.
what's the point though? That's I don't understand. Like I get it to try to cause mayhem or whatever, and maybe using Star Wars or any movie.
Well, it's just to basically
super
cause
popular like
dialogue
that.
of. It's supposed to cause a dialogue of us being like, "What's happening to this country?" Because when you hear about the Star Wars people and the people freaking out and people leaving social media over this stuff, and like just the hate and the vitriol over what is essentially a film, something that's supposed to be wholesome and fun, and we're here like, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep and rape your corpse on Twitter. Like they wanted to start that dialogue among Americans who aren't part of the fantagonists, who aren't part of the overall hate, who are just like, Jesus, how far have how far have we gone that we're like that over this? Like, what is wrong with this country? We're morally bankrupt. There's something wrong. We need to change. We need to do this. We need to do that. And basically just cause general unrest because there was no real. Honestly, I think it was more of a, in my personal opinion, I have no evidence to back this, but I think it was more of like a training op type this situation where they said, here's the objective. Let's see if we can do it. Because there's
I think it would be either a training op or a exercise in an idea,
or even just a display of power, just to be like, look, we can even fuck
Just
your
to
greatest
show that they
archives. We can fuck Star Wars. We can fuck you. Like, come
but,
on now.
But what they don't realize is we could easily do that to them, but they don't have anything as iconic for us to have to poke.
That's true.
What are we gonna poke? We're gonna make troll accounts about babushka dolls.
Yeah, like come the fuck on. Like what?
Inside's another woman and another woman. Get original.
Oh my god, that'd be fucking amazing. So anyway, that's pretty crazy, man. I didn't ever guess that.
There's just some weird shit I found out.
Is interesting.
It makes me happy
people need lives.
That I found that out because it's one of those things where I was one of the ones who was seriously like, what the fuck is wrong with us? And now I'm just like, oh, it's not us entirely. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is wrong with half as much of us?
Well, the problem is that
I feel better.
Well, yeah, I feel better that it's half as much.
It's only half as bad of a problem.
Shit, though, man, come on,
they
really are. Like, there's some people disgusting. That I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But there's some people that are just like, I don't know, sickos or
you sit there and you're like, why were you allowed to live?
It's kind of like, let me give an example, right? We were walking around when we were walking around Vegas. In Fremont Street, there's allowed to be people on the street, do different things. There's a circle that they have to stand in.
People in the street, da-ba-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da.
Yeah. Exactly. Sometimes it's mostly naked chicks that are dressed as, mostly naked cops. You could pay them $20. They pretend to arrest you. You take a picture. Yeah. There's like the showgirls in the thongs, like that kind of stuff. But there's also weird shit. Like sometimes it's like homeless people that are like in a wheelchair, but they're like extra dirty looking, like super duper extra dirty, like holding some kind of fucked up sign. They're in their circle, just trying to get donations, It's gross though. I ain't going near them. And then even weirder, guy in diaper.
Oh.
And a girl dressed as a nun with her tits out in the front, little pasties on her nipples.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure their stick was you can pay him and she like spanks him or something. I don't fucking know. All I'm saying is, right, people are fucking sick. And so this is just, I think, like a physical out form of the same type of person that gets off on like the kind of hate mail that gets an actress to quit a job.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I'll never understand that.
So I don't know. I think it's fucked up.
Absolutely. Without question.
But I talk about robot farms. Remember, I kind of want to change gears a little bit. Do you remember a couple of episodes ago? Episodes ago, we were talking about robot brothels.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
we talked about whether or not we thought it was a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah. And I think
we all agreed it's an okay idea.
Yeah, like in general, I think we determined that it's probably okay. Gets a little weird.
It'll be fine.
Can't make them too smart.
Also, the resist function is weird.
The resist function is. I don't like that either. So anyway, in Houston, Texas.
Yes,
No, Houston, Arizona.
Houston, Arizona. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Also next to San Antonio, Arizona, which is next to
Las Vegas,
Arizona.
Yeah. Everything's in Arizona.
I mean, we're down here in Australia, Florida, so
Yeah, no, we're in Florida, Australia. God,
Florida, Australia.
I'm sorry, okay.
I'll have to.
never
Okay,
learned geometry.
if we're gonna say that Florida is the Florida, I don't even know now.
We'll have to listen to the show later and like.
Yeah, right. We won't.
No, we
So
won't.
anyway, in
No.
Houston, they're actually putting. Well, they're trying to open a robot brothel.
So they're gonna open one as well.
Yes. However, there are many people, including several councilmen and other, residents around that do not want this.
I mean, it is
happen.
Bible Belt. It's gunslinging Bible toting Texas. They're gonna think this is an abomination against God and not be about
And
it.
it is, though. The fucked up part is a lot of the people that are coming out are like religious leaders.
Yep.
People that are, like people in charge of
The last little whorehouse in Texas.
But they're saying that they're arguing that this type of business could ultimately harm and dehumanize sex in humans. And it could exacerbate
Oh my God.
the risk of
That almost sounded like the word masturbate. Patrick Spring. That was Patrick Spring.
Yeah, it was.
Just like, oh,
but that it could
the
also
oh.
that's exactly what it sounded like in my head. The risk of sexual assault on women, though, because men will become accustomed to using these human-like sex objects, and there's a heavy chance that they'll transfer this behavior to people. And I don't think that's true. I think that
I agree.
much like, for example, a young kid that gets in many fights at school and is always getting in fights. What do you do with that kid? Boxing, martial arts, some place where they can safely let out their need to.
And also learn from a sensei who's just like, look, you don't do this shit unless you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, hey, you.
In this instance.
3 belts up, beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, that's accurate. At least that's how it went down in my dojo.
But apparently, religious nonprofits, right? And other, they're saying that they're coming out hard now. This is where people are going to be able to buy and use or rent these, right?
Yeah.
And there's an outcry for there to be some kind of surveillance.
Of course, because their first thoughts is that everyone who's going to be in there is going to be some sort of either pedophile or rapist or something, and they're enacting some sort of fantasy that they can't. Which, granted, if they are, that's fucked up. But I mean, at least they have an outlet that's not on people. So I'm okay.
But that's what I'm saying is that's not, that makes it a better thing already. Not only that, but first of all, prostitution shouldn't be illegal. Okay, it's fucking stupid that's something.
It's
that's
one of
illegal.
I would have to agree on that. I can agree on that point because it's one of those things where prostitution is one of the oldest forms of like job that's existed. Like,
and if a woman makes the choice to do that,
then it's consensual.
It's kind of like, for example, how they're trying to remove the cheerleader, right? People are like, this is unfair, whatever. What's it called? Of women. We're exploiting women, right? But then you talk to the cheerleaders, and they're like, no, we're hot and work out a lot, and we like to do it. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Well, my whole thing about prostitution, and the reason why I think it should be legal, is because there's no protections in place for sex workers. Like, if you get raped, right, as a sex worker, like, you agree to sex, they put the money on the table, then they try and grab, basically dine and dash on your ass. That's officially rape because the terms that made the sex consensual is now null and void.
But you can't. There's no protection there, and that is the risk you're taking. You're acknowledging that risk, though.
Exactly, and that shouldn't be. It's one of those things where a prostitute should not be afraid to call the police on somebody who is.
But
And then there's the actual rapes where
whether or not prostitution was legal or not, this would still become a thing eventually. Okay, that's essentially what I'm saying. Like, robot brothel.
I'd agree with that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
robot brothel, no matter what. Well, because with it being illegal, that's why it's coming faster than it would have normally. Because
yeah, but I'm assuming that the robot hooker has like an adjustable size butthole, for example. Like,
oh yeah,
like, you know what I mean,
like stuff.
Like that kind of thing. Like it's not. This is like ultimate fantasy kind of thing. You see what I mean? Now, granted, they still kind of look fake and a bit creepy to me, and I'm definitely
the
not
uncanny
in on
valley
it.
is definitely still in effect.
But
But there are some people who are all about it. Like it's their fantasy specifically for dolls.
Yeah.
Like,
but all I'm saying is now this guy, right, says, I already have cameras around the area. And whenever this starts, we will see all of the people coming and going. And we will post it on social media, Travis said at a city council meting where community members, mostly from religious groups, express opposition to the business. But he went on to explain that these are cameras that are already set up places, let's say across the street at this place or over here at this place, or he's gotten like approval, you know what I mean, from these people to do this, or they're going to be doing. And I just don't think that it makes it. I don't think it's illegal per se. But
well, if these are privately owned security cameras and they're getting approval for the tapes to be sent in, then that's one thing, because that's not as fucked up as it is. That is still technically legal because it's
Now if these are cameras set up specifically to watch this one business, that is illegal unless
like government run cameras. Yeah, then at that point, sorry, you can't post that up on social media.
Now, whether or not that's real.
Even then, even if the footage is put in, if they post it to social media without the person's consent, I think that there may be an issue at that point, because it's one of those things where you have to sign a release form for a lot of things. Like they'll blur out random people's faces for like when you're on the news and stuff, when they do videotapes, and they'll just focus on the people who's in the videotape you're supposed to be seeing.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I have a feeling that they're going to run into problems, and I think that this is more of a fear-mongering tactic. Well, so but anyone who's thinking about using it, they're like, "Hey, we're going to out you to your church. Don't go fuck a robot."
Yeah, but they're also saying things to the community like, "This is a mission to fight sex trafficking,"
which literally makes no
sense at all.
Like
not even a little bit.
Who are we trafficking? The robots? Are you for robot rights? Is that what this is about? Because this is.
And this just shows where Texas is at, though. Today is the day to say don't mess with Texas, said Christopher, the owner of a studio and conservative activist. Okay. We have to send a message loud and clear to stop this unethical, bad, morally wrong business from coming to Houston.
Oh, fuck you, pal. Like, I'm sorry. Today's the day we say don't mess with Texas. This is where you draw the line in the sand. Like that's when you draw that line.
Thousands of immigrants coming in. The look the other way for cheap labor in your cities, or
look the other way for your church leaders who are like molesting people.
Yeah,
and shit.
That is happening all around you. Like it's
no, don't mess with Texas. We don't want no robot.
Fucking worry about that. We don't want no robot butt fucks, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
So look, it's still homosexuality if it's a robot. In fact, it's double gay. So
it's double gay.
I can't stand that shit, man.
Oh man. So I thought you guys would giggle at that. Now I will say this though, again,
I'm once again,
I'm not
so stupid.
I'm not against robot brothels, okay?
I'm not either.
You want to fuck a robot? Fuck a robot, man.
I have a very open mind.
One day that there is going to be robots that you probably couldn't tell. Like we're probably going to have to mark them specifically so you can know the difference.
I'm Human, where they'll have like the floaty orb thing to where we know that that's an android.
Exactly. Like that'll happen eventually, I think.
And I will start to be against robot brothels the moment they have sentience, and if you take away their choice at that point and they're sentient. But until that point, it's just
I will say this though, again,
more features.
If as long as they don't know that they are they, beyond programming. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Like I'm not talking about I
what's
can
any
program it to
different
answer and
than
talk.
this? What's any different? So like, let's say they opened up a store where you could go in and pick a fleshlight and go to the bathroom and fuck a fleshlight. Like, is this a problem because they're mimicking people, right? Or
do you just not like anything sexual? Answer:
Yeah.
They don't like anything sexual because
No,
in
that
Texas,
is
it is still a law where you cannot own more than 6 dildos. One person cannot own more than 6 dildos legally. They have a law on that.
That's just not fair.
yeah.
Right?
Jordan would have to get rid of a lot.
Well, here's my thing. I need
At
them
least
for the
12,
different
like,
sizes.
At least 12. Jesus.
Like 6 doesn't give me the variety I require.
It doesn't.
Like I'd have to get rid of at least 2 of the dragons, right? Like the fuck.
That's
Different
crazy.
colors, different girth.
You're
you know?
crazy.
Come on.
Yeah, length. Like come on.
Get real.
Texas is just fucking stupid. Is my whole
Options.
point. I get mad.
Options.
All right. So I have where are we
No
at?
offense to my family in Texas because I know you guys aren't.
Yeah,
that-
no, look, my brother's in Texas. He loves Texas. They live Texas. He would probably not give no fucks about a fucking robot brothel.
Yeah, it's just like if anything, I'd be like,
You
we're
would
the
see
ones
that
who
in his
started
Google
that
Maps
trend.
search history.
You know, I'm just like if there was one here, we would probably be like, let's go see what they look like. You know, like come on.
I would 100% out of curiosity. I would go.
I
don't
definitely
know.
don't want to fuck a robot at this time in my life.
Yeah.
Now,
But if we
plan
could
on
get the
living
PB&J tour
I
and we
plan
can like
on
talk to
living a long
everybody in an
time,
interview, that
right?
would be cool.
I plan on being alive at least another 4 or 5 minutes.
Minimum.
Or wait, what? But I assume that we're gonna see some. That we're gonna see some crazy shit. You know what I mean, in our future, especially coming up. So who knows? One day we might see a robot and be like, "I'd fuck her," but right now that's not happened yet.
Yet. Keyword yet.
All right,
We're very open-minded people.
Jordan, where are we on time? Because I have 2 things. I want you guys to vote.
And this is just after break time. 43 minutes.
Oh, it's okay. I can sum up. I'll do them. Sorry. So I have 2 things real quick. Which one do you want first? The female Viagra teen driver thing, or the time travel thing?
I vote we save the time travel.
Yeah,
because the Viagra's on point for what we've been talking about.
that's
Good
true.
job.
Yeah, actually.
So I will read you the. It's teen on female Viagra crashes into a building while masturbating to her gear shift.
To her gear shift?
Now, I will tell you that the picture of this car is in a concrete building.
Oh.
Like it's through a wall, like a brick wall,
Must have been going
all the
hard.
way up to its, all the way up to almost the back of its front door.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah, she's lucky to be alive if she is.
Crashed her parents' vehicle into the house of a citizen in Warren County.
Oh,
She admitted she was under the influence of alcohol, ecstasy, and counterfeit female Viagra.
So she could. She had to get the counterfeit shit.
She's 17.
Oh my god!
Oh my Lord.
She was
Come
partying
on.
hard.
Uncontrolled. Okay, so she lost control of the parked vehicle. Right? So she did park.
Oh, so she was.
She had an uncontrollable urge to masturbate, according to the official police document, which is funny, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly lost control of the parked vehicle after inserting the gear shift into
and
her
accidentally
vagina.
changing gears.
In what she described herself as the ultimate attempt to stop being horny.
You know?
At least she's honest.
And here's a quote.
She's not the only person who's done that. I can promise that.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we could Google it and find it right now.
Yeah.
We could probably even. Yeah, we could probably find like an entire site dedicated to it.
Yeah, probably.
Like girl fuck car. You know?
Girl fuck car. Somebody Google that.
All right.
It seems apparent. The intake of alcohol and drugs were responsible for this person to be extremely sexually aroused and partake in sexual intercourse with the gear shift and lose control of the vehicle. That's a deputy.
Just gonna give you an update. I can confirm I'm not seeing a site on the first page of Google, but I can see a huge list of Pornhub and XXX hamster and all that shit
That would have been the
of
first
girls
place you'd
fucking
look, man.
gear shifts. Yeah,
One of her friends, I should never have allowed her to leave the party in that state, but she kept rubbing her
Obviously.
genitals on every doorknob. She was totally out of control.
Oh my
One friend of
god.
the teenager told reporters. So apparently,
Do they not have the ability to lock the gears? Like, I don't understand. Isn't there like a gear lock you can put in place, or is it one of the ones that you have to like push the knob, and when she slid down, the knob got pushed in, and then it was like,
the
oh,
teenager. Okay, so apparently several drugs, right? We know ecstasy, the female Viagra
Viagra.
and whatnot, right?
and it's counterfeit, which means it's
People that
probably
were
from
there
China
are
or
saying
something.
that the party people were reporting that they left the party because she was acting like a cat in heat and rubbing her ass on the floor, according to one attendee.
Oh my
So,
god,
Jeez.
that's insane.
that is very
That is
extra.
insane. That's excessive.
Like extremely excessive.
I can't with this because that is way too OD.
Well, I mean, what I don't understand, and maybe too horny. I was gonna say I don't understand why she didn't just get a guy, because we all know if a chick comes up to you, right? Uh-oh. If a chick comes up to you and they're like, "Hey, I'm so horny, I can't do it. I need to bang right now." You're gonna be like, "All right."
Yeah.
So,
I mean, well, that's the
No
thing. It
question
doesn't
about it.
matter how horny you are. Sometimes you're just like, you know what? You don't do it like I do,
that's
and you definitely don't do it how my car do.
nah, faux show. I mean, gear shifters can be big. So
I mean, that might have been why she chose
Yeah,
it, because she's
it
like, I
might
can
be.
guarantee that.
She was probably shifting gears, looked down,
And
she's
it's safer.
Oh,
You
dear
know, it's very rare for a
How's
car
she
to have
know?
an STD. Let's be real.
well, not hers. Oh shit.
Oof.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say we nailed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're
Yeah.
Because I'm falling asleep at the wheel, and I don't want to crash into a
Big time.
old lady's building.
I don't want to
And have her think
be
I was uncontrollably masturbating.
I don't want to be masturbating uncontrollably at my computer and
crash into someone's house.
Lose control.
and lose
I mean,
control.
Destroy my parents' car.
Australia of Florida.
It is the Australia. No, if Australia was the Florida of Australia.
Australia is
Yeah.
the Florida.
It's
of
that
Australia.
one. And then so they'll expect me to just crash into their wall, just jacking it. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign up so I can go to sleep.
All right. Well, we
But we
definitely
fucking
nailed it. It's
Yeah.
like you read my mind. That's what I was about to say. I don't appreciate you being in there.
Well, I mean,
He nailed it up in there
leave
anyway.
the door open. Jesus.
Oh shit. Jordan, why don't you go ahead and nail us so none of us fuck our cars?
I actually like the sound of that better.
No, do you? Okay, whatever.
I'm not gonna fuck my car.
Yeah, I do. I love
My
it.
car's a minivan, way too big.
Yeah, that's about it. You're screwed.
Shoot, Jesus paid for it. I guess I would be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus would. He would probably send me to Texas to get beat up if I did that.
He'd be like, "This man fucked a
Or at the very
robot."
least, they take a video.
It's a car robot. Get him on camera.
That makes it worse.
Just plug us, please. I'm losing it. Come on.
So, of course, first and foremost, you're going to want to find us on Facebook, PB&J podcast. You could find the live stream of this very episode just by searching on YouTube if you're listening to the audio version. If you are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and find us really anywhere that you get your podcast, iTunes, Google Play, or PB&J podcast.podbean.com.
.com.
.com. Oh,
Thank
man.
you so much for
Well,
listening, everybody.
Yeah, definitely. We for sure appreciate it.
I'm
And
gonna go fall asleep.
have a good night.
You know,
Don't fuck your car.
nailed it.
Nailed it.
Specifically your car.
Stupid.
So stupid.